Hello, and welcome. Silrace here with Star Citizen. And a while back, I did my initial impressions on the social module added to the game. However, if I had truly gone through everything the social module gives us access to and lets us see, it would have been a very long video. And so I've decided to finally go through all the nooks and crannies of the social module by splitting it to pieces and looking at each of these individual pieces, such as, for example, starting with the Trade and Development Division at Jobwell. I do like the ArcCorp logo in the middle. It's kind of nice. It is kind of nice artistically. So let's us go through this whole place in some detail and also do a little bit of theory crafting of like what this could be all about and all that stuff, right? So let us take a proper look at the Jobwell. So firstly, there are these two boards here, which to me look kind of silly because there's like, yeah, is this some kind of a code you're supposed to read if you're like Neo or something? I don't know. There is one on either side actually, and it's just like this. It has basically nothing intelligible on it except the ArcCorp at the bottom. But other than that, it just is. So I have no idea what the purpose of these things is, other than to maybe create atmospheric entrance. I have no idea. But I do like these things. See that watery effect? It so looks like it's consistently raining. That is really nice. And the fact that it's like greener, it's like plants, to try to give the whole white place a little bit of extra, well, a flash of color if you would have. And that is very nice. I actually really like this addition here. Also, the fact that they went all the way and did this whole water thing to try to, show that we can do this kind of stuff really well and put in all the little details like this. That is so very good. I am very happy that it exists here as a show of, if nothing else, of the creative talent behind this game. As for another piece of artistic thing, see those horizontal lines? I really like the fact that somebody went through all the trouble and did this, right? Essentially, the choices of the coloring, the from gray to white transition of the horizontal lines here, is very nice choice with the a dull reddish color to match it up as well on the horizontal line, which is also actually goes on the floor, as you can tell. That is really nice because had it been even more brighter red than this, it would have looked really out of place. But as it is very dull, more of a mahogany color than red, it is very nicely placed. I do quite appreciate that. Then here we have these boards now with actually intelligible text, right? So one would assume this is some kind of a trading board. Obviously, it's like you're supposed to be able to decipher what something either costs somewhere or what the trading course of trading is for that thing. That looks fairly good as a piece of information thing, and it also allows us to make a whole lot of let's just say make a whole lot of theory of like, are these all the places we could visit? Like, which ones of these are planets and which ones are just straight up, massive space stations we could talk with? I actually don't know if all of those are planets or space stations or other locales we could visit. A massive trading center on a certain planet or whatever. I don't know for sure. But it allows us to do a lot of speculation, and I like a little bit of detail which allows us to do speculation like that. We have the same exec board, so on the other side, and there is the customer service desks right in middle with their own little consoles and so forth. And this is kind of looks a little weird to me, as in a customer service which is completely blocked off with glass. But it's like, how am I supposed to interact with the folks in there? Like, there's supposed to be like a microphone or something to talk to them through here, or then like openings in the glass to talk through. Because right now it just looks like it's an enclosed space where some people are gonna work, but you cannot at all interact with them, as in interact with the customer support. There is this massive lounge area with a, well, detailed map of some kind of a planet. Right here, you will, well, you get to have a look-see at the planet a little bit, walking around it. More plants, and this very nice platform which you cannot actually get to, unfortunately. I was trying to jump up there, but you cannot. But at least you can jump onto the couch, so there is that. If you ask me, if we change the perspective, these couches are just a tad too low. So like, as in, they are just a little bit too low to be actually sat on by people. They are a little, not too tall enough, not too tall. Anyway, not tall enough, let's put it that way. So obviously stairways all over the place, a very nice view of the city out there, with the all the traffic going on, all the other things going on, and then a little bit of a ship down there landed on a landing pad, and people also talking about the ship, as in a place where you could essentially imagine yourself sitting down or having a trade chat with somebody, and while having something to look at as well while you are waiting for your client or whatever to appear. Although there does not seem to be any kind of privacy in this place. So I mean, if we are talking about setting up jobs here, or talking about doing any kind of trading agreements or whatever, there should be private booths around to do that with. But right now it does not look like that is the case. So maybe you're supposed to draft all paperwork and everything ready, because I mean, if you are finalizing stuff only here, then that maybe makes sense, but there are also no tables to write on. Everybody is using some kind of a communicator, that tells me, instead of actually having to write their name down on a piece of paper. That, I mean, there could very well be some kind of an old-fashioned corporation which still requires you to use stone tables or papers. Anyway, more of these little couches. I mean, this is obviously way more private from down there, so you could argue that there is a little bit of privacy to be had, but it should be in a both, in all honesty. And then we have a whole lot of little terminals here. Jobwell terminal. Unfortunately, pretty much everything here is unintelligible, as in you cannot really read it, but it does have graphs on it, and it has other things, so I am assuming these are for some kind of trading business, these things. Of course, each of them should have a wall on each side, so it would be a little more private. Like, think of an ATM machine or what have you. You walk to an ATM machine and you imagine that there is nothing which blocks somebody else standing next to you, right next to you, and looking at what you are, you know, doing with the terminal. So that could be a little bit of an annoyance to some, obviously, if you're actually doing trading with these things. However, if this is not really intended to do any kind of serious trading, you're just supposed to be able to look things up, as in it's a research terminal, then that is fine, like, because having somebody else look over your shoulder while you're researching stuff might not be quite as big of an issue. Depends obviously what you are researching, obviously. So these boards exist here as well, But more importantly, more interestingly, there seems to be a job table right here. As you can see, if you look at the right side columns of it, there is rescue missions and mine 100 ore with their payments out as well. So obviously I will assume that those numbers have been just tacked on, that these are not the finalized numbers which we will see as rewards in the game, in the final version of the game, but it might maybe give us an idea. We can speculate an idea of like, okay, this is what we get paid for a little bit of a job. So is this rescue mission going to take about as much time and be about as easy as mining 100 ore, because the pay for both is 4,000, right? I mean, and then we have these massive jumps for the 2 squad team for boarding, 100k and 250k. That is that then split among the squad, or is that per individual on a squad as well? Very, very interesting to see this kind of detailing put down, and it, like I said, it really lets us theorycraft, it lets us do this kind of thing where it's like, okay, is that how it's going to be in the final version? I mean, it is still quite a bit of a way to the final version of the game, after all. But if it's not, well, at least we have had some numbers and we could have done some extra speculation. That's always fun, right? To do various things of speculation. And I love that in the middle of the whole damn thing, on the left column, there is RSI. So this is just such a little bit of a funny little detail right there. It's like, okay, can we do jobs for RSI? I love that idea. Please let us do that. Anyway. So this is my look at Jobwell, and I will go through all the other areas of the social module individually as well. But thank you very, very much for watching. Hopefully this was of some interest to somebody after, well, this proper little bit of a kind of a longish look at this place. Well, just final words say that I like how they made this place, but since it says trade and development, I would have expected this place to be more of a private booth and such thing, because I mean, if you're supposed to do development and trade agreements or whatever here, this does not look like it is very inviting to talk over trade and development, you know, things with somebody else. Without having anybody else over here of what you are on about. Anyway, thank you very, very much for watching. Hopefully this was, well, interesting to someone.